The stranger came early in February, one wintry day through a biting wind and a driving snow, the last snowfall of the year, over the down, walking from Bramblehurst railway station and carrying a little black portmanteau in his thickly gloved hand. He was wrapped up from head to foot, and the brim of his soft felt hat hid every inch of his face, but the shiny tip of his nose. The snow had piled itself against his shoulders and chest and added a white crest to the burden he carried. He staggered into the coach and horses, more dead than alive, and flung his portmanteau down. "A fire!" he cried. "In the name of human charity, a room and a fire!" He stamped and shook the snow off from himself in the bar and followed Mrs. Hall into her guest parlor to strike his bargain. And with that much introduction, that and a couple of sovereigns flung upon the table, he took up his quarters in the inn. That is, of course, famously, James, the opening to which Penguin bestseller? Classic literature. Which Penguin book is that obviously the opening to?
I don't know, some Stephen King shit. The Dark Tower.
You think Stephen King is a Penguin? Is the Penguin publishing him?
Yeah, I've seen him on Penguin a couple times, you know.
James, that of course was the famous book by H.G. Wells, if that helps.
Higgy Wells.
The title that H.G. Wells would have, what H.G. Wells, what he's famous for, his most famous manuscript.
The second Harry Potter book.
Of course.
Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That was, of course, the Invisible Man by H.G. Wells.
Oh.
As you knew, and I think you were just having a bit of fun with the audience there.
Oh yeah, you know me having a bit of a giggle. I don't know why you're dark a little bit. You're raising yourself up. That's good. While you do that, I just want to mention that we've been off for 2 weeks. I was in the trenches battling it out, hand-to-hand combat with COVID. Obviously, I've returned victorious. COVID defeated. James won. COVID 0.
Got him.
Yeah, and I'm so glad to be greeted with the regular assault of a David reading. How dare you?
You missed it. You missed it. I would like to first of all apologize for my tardiness this evening. I was saying to you just before we hit live that I was in a Mr. Bean type scenario where I was leaving the meeting I was in.
And David, his pen wasn't working, so he blew into the back of it, and it blew ink right onto the very famous and expensive painting that they were wheeling in at the time.
Exactly right.
And then
I had to,
in a series of sort of hijinks and shenanigans.
Worse,
exactly. David had to repaint the painting. It was a whole big thing. We don't want to bore you with it, but
I was there for a minute. James, welcome to the advisory. Welcome back to the advisory, James. We done missed you here in the advice pod, in the advice zone, the first and last advice show on the internet where we answer questions to try and learn a little bit more about what it means to be human. All advice is final and legally binding. Can I please see that disclaimer?
You sure can. Dude, look at this.
You know what? Oh, it's crisp.
Perfectly scented. I'm back on my game. The voice still isn't all the way back. But we're getting there.
What? The important thing is upstairs is back in action.
Oh, it's pretty much there, yeah. I will say this though.
It's no worse than it was. I guess.
So you know how deeply fond I am of the readings that you do at the beginning of this show, that I myself and all of the watchers and listeners love so fondly.
Fond isn't the word.
I was reading something recently. I had a lot of downtime, taking on COVID. You know how it is. And
I get it. Doing battle.
New data published by Meta says that it only takes 0.25 seconds of exposure for people to recall mobile feed content at a statistically significant rate. And they're seeing people spend, on average, 1.7 seconds with a piece of content on mobile compared to 2.5 seconds on desktop. Now, obviously, because you like to drag me over broken glass and through the coals with those slow readings right at the beginning of the show, which
really bring the energy down.
Yeah, and Mr. Facebook, Meta Man himself, His name is escaping me, and it
Uh,
is
fuck, Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. I was gonna say Zach. I don't know why.
I
I was
was
thinking Zach
I
for
had
some reason.
Bezos in my head. I don't. Yeah,
So
but
basically,
then I thought of Jesse Eisenberg. Anyway, here we are. It's fine.
I'm gonna need you sort of to
Yeah.
uh basically razzle me, dazzle me with 1.7 seconds. Okay. I'm gonna need Raz.
Okay.
I'm gonna need Daz. It's gonna have to be in 1.7 seconds. What's your hook? What's your new hook to get me
Okay.
into the show?
Okay.
Give it to me.
Uh, it's Jimmy and the Hair coming to you live on Thursday night, 6 p.m. on twitch.tv/Black Swan Society. This week we got all kinds of goofs and gaffs and funnies. You're gonna want to stick around to find out.
Wow.
Sort
You
of
know
a
what?
drive time radio.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sort of. I'll say this: not bad for having absolutely no prep time, but
Thank you.
I sort of am a stickler for details. That was longer than 1.7 seconds, and
I don't know how to time that.
second, yeah. So sort of a follow up question to that: who the fuck is the Hair? Are you the
Jimmy,
Hair?
I'm the Hair.
You're the
Yeah.
Hair.
Yeah, because I spent too much time on my hair. That's the gag.
Perfect. Okay.
1.7 seconds.
Yeah, but really quick. The
Yeah,
Hair, is that sort of like a nickname that you've given yourself?
James, I had, and I cannot stress this enough. Literally no time to prepare.
I know. I'm backdooring into you sharing with the audience that one time that you gave yourself a nickname.
The one time I gave myself a nickname.
Yeah, I think it was in high school. You were going by a different name at one period of time. I can't. It escapes me for some reason.
I'm gonna need you to help me out.
It's like it was like Phoenix or like.
Oh God. I know what you mean. I can't think of what it was though. Fuck.
If you had to give yourself a nickname,
because it.
What would it be? If you had to give yourself a nickname, 2022 David.
I've done so. Okay, that happened to me. So yeah, this happened.
You've done that.
Me. So this happened to me at work. Is what happened. So I joined the place I work at. You can go look it up on LinkedIn if you want. I don't publicize it, but you can go check that out if you're interested. And day one, there was another David at the business.
Okay.
And so my boss said, "Okay, well, you can't be David because we have a David." And I was like, "Well, that's my name, and I'd prefer you call me that." And he said, "Yeah, tough. Yeah. There's another David. So what are the options?" And he was like, "Would you prefer Dave?" And I was like, "I mean, not really." He was like, "Oh, well, have you had any other nicknames?" I was like, "No, not really." And then one of my other colleagues who'd worked with my brother at a previous business went, "Oh, well, wasn't your brother AMAC in high school?" And I was like, "I guess so." And my boss went, "Great, DMAC it is." And I kid you not, for 3 years of my life, for 7.25 hours a day, I am exclusively referred to as DMAC, to the point where I had to change my Zoom display name to include DMAC, so that on investor calls, when someone said, "Oh, DMAC, could you answer that question?"
Right.
They knew that they were referring to me on those calls.
Yeah.
And so I am, for all intents and purposes, at work DMAC.
Okay.
So that's what's happened to me.
Yeah. Does DMAC have now that you've been gifted such a great nickname, does DMAC sort of come with sort of, so I'm sitting here now obviously with David. If I was sitting with DMAC, is there any sort of like noticeable differences? Does he sort of embody any other characteristics or traits? Does he peacock more? Do you wear sort of like, pink Hawaiian shirts?
He's a bit more of a business guy. He's much less of a cunt.
Less?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting reaction.
I like the sound of this guy.
What just happened on your he's a bit more technical. Like he's an engineer for sort of 50% of his job at least. So
yep.
And he's very good with the client and relationship management, unlike David, who doesn't give a fuck what you think.
So he's good at talking to people and he's not a cunt.
He's just a better version of me.
Damn.
Basically.
I want to hang out with DMAC one time. I'm gonna have to swing by the office or something.
I'll have to,
because I have to trap you in it. I have to trap you in the work, because I can't be like, hey, let's let me and you, let's go hang out. You be DMAC. I need to
You'd
go
be worked
somewhere.
in.
Yeah, I have to go
You have
somewhere
to
where
get
you're
it.
trapped
Yeah.
in that persona, and then I get to experience the sort of the authentic.
What you gotta Yeah, what you gotta somehow do is get involved, consult with the client who's in the pre-sales process for buying our product, and get on a Zoom call. Because I reckon I have to be full sort of profesh DMAC mode. You know?
That's wow. I
Yeah.
mean, that sounds really involved. I could just show up and say, D-Sliz, and act sort of like you're a different dude, sort of outside of work, and be like,
Sleaze!
D-Sliz, what up, dude? I'm
What's
in
good,
town.
babe?
Yeah, and I'm like, man,
What's up, bitch?
let's go. You and some of your work buds want to like go slam some chow? I know you love saying slam some chow. That's why I said it. And then sort of like,
And you
we
always say
go
that
out
to
to
me, and I'm
lunch.
just saying the thing you say. Yeah.
Never said
Yeah.
slam chow in my life. I would never say. I would be caught dead saying it. I'd let COVID
Couldn't.
win before I said
Right.
slam chow.
Do you think, and this might, and again, you don't have a lot of time to prepare for this, so I hope this catches you as off guard as you sort of maneuver before to me did, and you had the gall to criticize me.
Yep.
Do you think you could ever stomach being called anything other than James professionally? Because I called you Jimmy before because I thought it would bother you, and you didn't seem to react to that at all, which is hugely disappointing.
Yeah, no. I see. This is something I used to care. I used to care, like, when like, 'cause I'm not a Jimmy, I'm not a
You're definitely a James. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? If someone's like, "Hey, we're gonna call you this from now on," I'd be like, I don't give a shit. Why are you telling me this? I don't care.
Yeah.
Call me whatever.
Yeah.
If you call me whatever, I get to call you whatever. And I'm gonna come up with some shit.
This has been my revenge for the DMAC. It's given me the flexibility to call anyone anything I want at work.
Yeah.
And that's really fun. Yeah. I often just call them fuck off and leave me alone. But sometimes they're creative as well.
Right.
So,
Sorry, I thought DMAC was sort of more personable. That sounded like David was creeping in a little bit there.
Yeah, he snuck in, didn't he? Yeah,
He
what's David after hours, baby?
Oh shit!
He comes in sometimes. He gets in there. Any fun COVID anecdotes to share? Famously a fun disease to catch. Anything fun virus?
Wouldn't recommend it if I'm honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Went to it was bound to happen. So Sam and I, we went to go see Idol. So playing at Fortitude Music Hall, and I saw in the entire crowd, and it was packed, sold out show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw two people, a couple, a guy and his girlfriend, the only two people in the entire place wearing masks. And I remember saying to myself when I saw them, I went, that's a really good idea. And got COVID. So, hindsight's 20/20. Yeah. Wear the mask anyway, so that later on you don't get COVID and go, should have worn the mask, because
should have worn a mask.
Dude, even double vaxxed and boosted, it's just like
full of it.
Dog.
Yeah, just up.
It's full on.
I'm like quadruple vaxxed. I've sort of gone around and I've taken other people's dose of the booster. I've sort of taken as many as I can to get as strong as I can.
Yeah. Oh shit.
It's sort of like, how in Dragon Ball Z, they're always getting more power and stuff.
Yeah.
I figure the more boosters I have, the stronger I'll become.
So, and sorry,
until I can finally take over.
Are you, just to sort of understand how this process is happening, because I read it as kind of like that movie where the guy is going to all the different timelines and he's murdering himself, and he gains the power of himself in that timeline, and he's just timeline hopping, killing. It's called the One, because he's trying to make it so there's only one him.
He's trying to make it so there's only one.
Spoiler.
Sort of a Highlander scenario.
Yeah, but it gets spread out over everyone. So like when it comes down to him and the last dude, they're equally as strong. Awkward.
Oh, that is uncomfortable.
Yeah. So have you just been going around and you sort of you loop back in the line and you've got sort of like a mild disguise on, and then you give a different name?
No,
or are you sort of taking people out on the list and then coming back and being like, hello, it is me, Timothy Markelson, and here is my ID. This is definitely me.
Nah. what you want to do, and this is the way that I've done it quite successfully, is you wait in line and you get quite close to the front of the line, and you sort of beeline as if you're going to the bathroom. And then what you want to do is you want to sort of get on the other side of the tent where they're going to administer it to someone. And sort of as they go to, you kind of listen and they say, okay, and they'll do the thing on the side, I'll hurt a bit. What you want to do is you want to sort of throw an object that makes a noise. So they look one way and then you sort of duck up and you sort of scoot your arm in the way and then they accidentally jab you with it.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's too late. It's too
Yeah,
late. They
you
can't
come
take it
in.
back once it's in.
Exactly. You come in and sort of impale
Yeah.
yourself on the thing and you go,
on the needle.
may as well inject it now.
What are they going to throw it in the bin?
What are you going to do?
That's an expensive piece of Pfizer or whatever.
You're going to chuck it
You're
out,
gonna
Jeff?
Get a refund from. Yeah. What are you gonna? If you're gonna put that in the bin, Karen? That's at least $20 worth of Pfizer right there.
Yeah.
That's sort of been my maneuver. You can. I will say this disclaimer: you can only do this at one vaccination center once. Like you do have to burn them as you go. So you've got to kind of find new location.
Yeah.
And you got to really hope they don't have security on hand, which a lot of them do.
Yeah. That I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good system. That's a pretty good system.
Yeah.
And also, not one that I expected to come from you. I thought there was going to be much more sort of like a lingering dark energy, sort of like a
kind of Machiavellian.
Yeah, some deeply disturbing undertones and some things that were probably, like morally questionable were probably going to take place as well.
I keep it fun and light for the first episode back. You're clearly, you've recovered and you're sort of feeling good. I thought I wouldn't ruin that immediately by kind of discussing complex identity fraud and the way that makes me feel more fulfilled than anything else. I thought I'd dodge that to sort of give you a fun, zany kind of, I'm poking my arm up out of the...
Right, No, I appreciate that.
Speed
thank you so much.
You're actually welcome. You're kind of... Actually, you owe me one, is what I would say. So expect that shit to get called in at some point.
All right. I mean, I don't like James, that. Don't like the sound of that at all.
Shouldn't have accepted my great gesture of friendship then, should you? This question comes from Freddie Abraham because we haven't done a piece of advice in 1,000 years, it feels like. This one comes from the toilet of the internet, Quora.com. Freddie Abraham asks, how do you react or respond as a store owner if customers and people who've never run a business give you unsolicited advice or suggestions when they assume you are struggling? There's a few layers to this one. I love the idea of when they assume you're struggling, because that implies a whole heck of a lot. They walk in.
So this isn't like friends and family. This is random patrons.
You're in the store. You're in the store, right? Yeah. Imagine you're in the store. You run this place. You run a tight ship. Someone comes in, gives it a gander, has a look around, comes up to the counter, buys a bag of whatever, bag of fucking Doritos or whatnot, bag of chicken twisties maybe, I don't know. And then they look you right in the peepers and they say, "Listen, buddy, I noticed. Have you thought about reorganizing the shelves so that the high volume goods are actually at the front of the store instead of hidden away in the back corners where no one's going to find them? Because you really seem like you're not getting enough foot traffic in here."
Yeah. To that I would say, yeah. Where the fuck did you get those chicken twisties from? You sick piece of shit. You have eyes in your fucking head, idiot. The signs all over the store. No chicken twisties in here. You sick piece of shit. You definitely get out of my shop before I fucking chicken twisty you to death.
Chicken twisties. I think you should probably start selling them because they're actually the hottest food commodity this side of summer. So,
my blood is boiling. Here's a challenge to anyone. Walk into any shopping center, any Woolworths, any Coles, anywhere that sells twisties. You'll notice either a gap in the shelf where the regular twisties used to be, or a very sort of diminishing supply of them. Right, because they're selling like hotcakes, and then next to it, you'll notice a full fucking rack of chicken twisties. You know why? Because no one eats it, and if you do, you're legally allowed to beat them to death. If they touch it, you're allowed to beat them with a Pringles can. You're allowed to do it.
Yeah,
chicken twisties.
They still won't be able to fit the hand inside the Pringles can, but you can hit them with it.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I thought. Listen, you seem too comfortable. I just wanted to see if you were still paying attention. Okay.
And who the fuck is
Yeah.
this person walking into my shop and
I
giving me this
know.
unsolicited advice? What are you You know what? Mate, here's thank you so much for those suggestions. Thank you so much. Here's what I would like you to do.
Yeah, of course.
I'd like you to go home and I'd like
Okay.
you
That's what
to
I was gonna do.
yeah,
But
yeah, if I let you
I was
leave,
gonna leave.
if I let you leave. Um
Sorry.
Go home and I want you to draft up all of your suggestions. Just all of them in
Mm-hmm.
and make it look nice. Put it together in a
Do you want
little pitch deck
like a
and
portfolio? Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
I
sort of
work in sales, so I should be
yeah,
able to do that
fantastic.
pretty easily.
And
Yeah.
put all of that together and
Mm-hmm.
then bring it back to the
Do you want
shop.
that? Okay.
And then we'll
Printed,
go
or you
from
want that
there.
as like a PDF?
That's printed's fine. Printed's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And you're not just gonna take that and put it in the bin, I assume.
No, not at all. No.
Okay.
I
I just saw a glint in your
love
saw a glint in your eyes.
unsolicited cunts coming into my store and giving me
It's not bad.
advice. So if you
You
really,
just seem like
if
you
you
need the
really,
help.
you
Seem-
definitely, I do,
I've
I
seen
do,
the state of this place.
I need it.
Yeah.
I need it, quite frankly. So you
Yeah.
go home and you do all of that
Mhm.
work, and then you bring it
Yeah.
back, and then we'll go from there, and we'll go from
Mhm.
there. It's fucking.
Mhm.
Because you're either going to get one of two things out of it. You're gonna waste this maniac's time, or he's gonna bring it in, and maybe there's something useful in it. Win-win.
It's true. Either way, you don't lose, and you still don't sell chicken twisties, apparently.
Exactly.
So-
Because I'm not
'Cause
hemorrhaging
you're not a
money.
monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you're running a store, it's pretty simple when you're running a shop. I want to buy stock and then sell it. So I'm not going to buy things that
Right.
don't sell. So I'm not going to
So
buy
you
chicken
sort of-
twisties, and I'm not going to buy
Right.
purple Rockstar. Again, Rockstar energy drinks, all of them foul. Yeah, I've changed my tune on them. Original Rockstar
Oh,
went away. They
I
went
thought the
away.
original-
No,
yeah.
dude, they went away. They came
Okay.
back and oh yeah, hey guys, regular original Rockstar. Like I don't have taste buds in my mouth. I taste
they
the
done changed the
difference.
recipe.
You changed the
Yeah,
recipe on
okay.
me. You came back with an inferior product. You tried to palm it off to me like it was the original. Now I hate you. I hate you to death.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For anyone that is new to the whole James's continual sort of food and beverage beefs that have percolated through the history of the advisory, there are two things you should know right at this juncture. First of all is Rockstar energy drinks, a totally understandable and niche issue that no one else has. It's literally just you. And chicken twisties might be, and I hate to sound dramatic, they could be the worst idea anyone's had since New Coke.
Yes.
Like okay, twisties, for those I don't know if people have them in that country, I don't know, but twisties are basically just like a different shape, slightly different flavored, like a Cheezel or like a Cheeto or something.
Yeah.
Like they're sort of and they're a perfectly designed snack because you just pick it up and you pop it in the gob. Like functionally, shape wise, it's a great snack. They're very tasty. They're very good when you might have smoked a little bit of the ganj. They're a good snack, a little bit of a smoke a fatty baseball bat. When you do that, it's a good little treat to have. The idea, and they taste a bit like kind of chickeny cheese, like what's the word for it? Like cheesy, kind of like, I was gonna say like how like chicken flavor doesn't quite taste like chicken. They kind of taste like a cheese flavor. They don't necessarily taste like cheese.
Yes.
It's a perfect snack. It's a perfect flavor. And these motherfuckers went, you know what we should do? We've looked at all the potato chips that exist, all the crisps that are out there, and we picked the worst flavor of chip flavoring. And we said to ourselves, we should put that as the second option for our product.
Yeah.
We should go the best flavor, which is kind of slightly cheese adjacent. We all know that an extra cheesy nacho is the best type of corn chip you can get. They looked at that and they said, we perfected the product that we could sell, and we should take the worst flavor of potato chips and put it on top of twisties.
I have
and that made it past flavor testers, QA, marketing people. someone looked at a shipping order and Twisty sent them a marketing email to the person that purchases, does the supply orders at a fucking Woolworths, a multinational chain, and went, yeah, chicken twisties. Yeah, well, let's buy a few cases of those and see. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
My theory is that my theory is that they either said, hey, let's be real contrarian here, and everyone's competing in the market trying to make the best tasting chip. What if we try to make the worst tasting chip? Either that, or they intentionally made a disgusting product so that in comparison, regular twisties seem even better, and then they force like in their contracts, all of their like distributors, if you want to sell regular twisties, you also have to stock chicken twisties.
That is, you know what? That's either some galaxy brain shit, or they just tried to make a good product and failed. Yeah, like, or they just failed to make a good chip. Is there? Let me put this to you, James. Is there a flavor of twisties aside from the classique? Like, if you could be like, hey, I think this would work well with a twisty, what would be the flavor you'd suggest?
If I could combine a twisty with something?
Well, yeah, like if you could take the format of a twisty and give it a different flavor.
Oh, okay. Well,
like instead of chicken twisties, it could be blank twisty. You know what I mean?
I mean, see, I hate a crossover. This is such a niche path that we've gone down. But like when chip flavors, when they bring out like hamburger flavored Sam Boys or whatever the fuck, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. None of it tastes anything like anything that they're trying to do. It's all made up bullshit. And they're just trying to like sell more of their dumb stuff. It's nothing. It's garbage. It's piss water. I would, you know what I'd probably do? I'd partner up with an energy drink company and I'd do Red Bull twisties, and I market them as like an energy boosting snack, or team up with like Monster and do like the gamers. This is how gamers like refuel. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a twisty right there for the visual listener. It's not colored like that. That's the green screen having an effect.
Yeah.
One word of caution if you aren't an Australian and you thought to yourself, I'm just going to Google twisties. Make sure you spell it right, because the Google autocorrect added a Y. And
what do you get?
It's a lot of porn.
Oh, it is
a lot of porn.
Wow.
Like, it was a lot of porn.
This is consumer alert. Do not Google twisties with a Y. Don't do it.
You could probably rewind to see the exact second when I pressed search and just my brain.
Oh, no, because you were doing an image search. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just did a regular Google.
I typed in twisties and I was like, oh, the chips will show up. And I'm expecting to see, and there was a short circuit where I was not looking at chips.
He said, hold on, these aren't twisties. Have gone a really strange route with their marketing.
But yeah, a twisty. I'm not sure if I can get an image of a twisty chip. Hang on. Twisty chip. I gotta.
This is
Google.
Quite the. This is dangerous.
I'm really running the knives out. Here we go. Here's a close-up image of the product. This is the highest risk live editing I've ever done. It's gonna all go horribly wrong in a second. And yes, we will duck out of Twisty's bid in just a moment. Oh, sorry, can't store that JPEG securely. Please download another. Okay, this one has.
Did you get hit with the web PHP shit again?
No, I didn't. It was just an unsecure JPEG. But here is some Twisties chips with an Alamy watermark, whatever the fuck Alamy is.
Oh, dude, that's where I get all my favorite stock images from. Yeah. Oh, what's that? We need a picture of someone working in a lab. Or let me head on over to alamy.com and get my favorite stock image photos.
Yeah, but I just think Twisties is a product. They rose and they fell, and now they are held less in my esteem than they used to be. And I'll be honest, if I'm hankering for a snankering, I ain't buying the Twisties no more. I'm gonna get some burger rings before I get some Twisties. Okay, I'll say it. Chicken Twisties fucking ruined it for me. So if you're not buying a salt and vinegar chip, I'm buying a Burger Ring.
It's a brand can absolutely tarnish their image and sort of the standing of their products, even their related products, in the minds of consumers. And Chicken Twisties has absolutely done that to uh, an entire generation and anyone with taste buds in their mouth. So I bet they were happy when COVID came out and it was wiping out everyone's fucking taste. They said, finally, the Chicken Twisties will reign.
We can finally sell all of our stock. I wonder if they're like Twinkies where they just last forever because they're full of toxins.
Dog, have you ever eaten a Twisty? Sorry, a Twinkie?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Dog shit.
They're rancid.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought it was funny in that Zombieland though. That was funny. I like it when he's trying to get the Twinkie. James, this next one comes from Anthony Perez on Quora. Which occupation will never die out? Not so much specific advice that you can really ask the internet, but a question a human being typed and put onto Quora.com.
Anthony, you dirty bird. You dirty bird. Oh. You know exactly what the only what profession will never die? Oh, I don't know, Anthony. Buck related stuff? Posting pics of your tootsies? How about that shit, Anthony?
Is it butt pics, Anthony?
Butthole JPEGs. That'll never get old.
That'll never get old.
Dog, I mean, it's like,
let me tell you,
prostitution, sex work. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What if robots could do that? You know, then what's you know? Shit. Maybe we'll die out. Maybe robots will do
Dog,
it. You know?
We went in such different directions. My brain went to a future where technology has wiped us out and we've had to reset. You know what I mean? Like we've lost.
So you went for realistic future. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen. Legit.
I went for like we lose all of the data, all of the tech just goes down.
You went the Maynard Trigg realm.
Yeah, and we're regressing back to
post-apocalyptic.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, well, sex work, obviously. You know, we're gonna return to basics because you're not gonna be able to, run your OnlyFans anymore. You're gonna set up, a new shop.
You're gonna want to do the sex to each other. And sometimes pay for that.
Yeah, and then you went.
That's what you mean, right?
You went like a teched up future where it's like sex work is dead because they're all fucking machines. Robots.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen. That's what WALL-E's about, right? They're all fucking robots in VR or whatever. They're all fat.
Where's WALL-E?
No, WALL-E, the robot, the little space guy.
Oh, never seen it.
Haven't you?
No.
It's like a
zero interest. Zero interest in. Oh, cute. I know that everyone's like in the chairs and stuff. Like I've seen snippets of it, but it's like people talking about they've got a fucking like sad boner for this weird little robot guy. No, dude, I'm not into it. Yeah. I'm not into it.
Yeah. Well, the whole conceit there is sort of like humanity is living on spaceships. They're all in VR all the time. They're all fat as a result. They're just living their lives in virtual reality. They're fucking and sucking and eating and doing all their stuff in the VR,
But you're not getting any of the sensation of it. Like, am I?
Oh no, they got neural.
Oh shit! Okay. If
it's through the old brain.
Can I die in VR then? If I'm neuraled, if I'm neuraled up,
I didn't tell you about this. Sorry. I didn't tell you about this. Some guy designed a VR headset that kills you if you die in the game.
He wanted permadeath. He put permadeath into his game, but a VR game in real life.
It's got... Yes, it was the guy who founded Oculus. Let me post the... Let me do some more live editing. Hang on.
Facebook guy?
The guy that founded Oculus, he didn't.
Mark?
They're now owned by Facebook. Was that you, Mark?
Mark Zuckerberg announced, he's like, guys, we're laying off 11,000 people today. Yep. Unfortunately, we're shutting down some avenues of the business and we're opening up. We're sort of taking some new bets on some on some different ventures. But we are doubling down on the Oculus Quest 2 new expansion pack, which will fully fucking murder you if you die in a VR game. Oculus founder claims
Yes.
he made a VR headset that actually kills you if you die in a video game.
My my favorite
Who has he
quote from this
tested this on?
article.
Who's beta
Well,
testing this?
this is what I'm gonna get to. So this is my favorite quote. Is he goes, so Lucky, who left Oculus in 2017 and founded Anduril Industries, a high-tech military contractor. Surprise. Went on to detail he was working on a real-life version of the Nerve Gear and was halfway there. Nerve Gear is from an anime, I think. So this is the quote. Quote, the bad news is that so far I've only figured out the half that kills you. The perfect VR half of the equation is still many years out.
Nerve N-E-R-V?
Huh?
Is nerve spelled N-E-R-V?
Yeah, Nerve Gear. I think it's
What
from
the
an anime
fuck?
called Sword Art Online.
What the fuck? Nerve is Evangelion.
What? That's it.
Anyway, let's not get, won't get bogged down in that. Yeah.
Anyway, that's not important. I think it's the headset from Sword Art Online where like they'll get trapped in the game and if they try and leave, they die unless they beat the game, whatever. Anyway, my favorite part of the certificate. It's true. My favorite part is the end of it, where Lucky caution that the system isn't perfect. Quote: there are a huge variety of failures
you might survive.
That could occur and kill the user at the wrong time. This is why I have not worked up the balls to actually use it myself. So the guy that made it's like, yeah, actually, I don't want to die, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, there's some bugs where like it'll accidentally like permanently kill you. If you
it's a pretty big margin for error.
Yeah, if you sort of like some people tried to do a logout skip where they go into a cave and they jump up on like a mushroom, the logout skip for like speed running and stuff. And that logout skip, it did kill 2 interns. So
it did put a bullet in their head.
It fully killed them dead. And that wasn't supposed to happen.
Got all over the QA room with the VR tech and the computers.
He's like, hey guys, I'm working on this project. So far, unfortunately, the only thing that I've perfected is the ability to fully fucking turn you off forever.
He made the thing they used to kill. All he did is he took the thing they used to kill like cattle.
Yeah, the like piston thing.
The thing that
yeah.
He just put that in a headset and he's like, I've done VR Nerve Gear.
See, you don't need to reinvent the wheel on this shit. We just got to, that's okay. Me and you, we've just got to work on combining 2 already great things. And then we'll fuse it into one and we'll be tech billionaires,
James, yeah, the issue is this is not, the marriage of 2 things you've always wanted, okay? This isn't, James Marsden and Sonic the Hedgehog, right? This isn't 2 things that have always longed to be together in cinematic format. This is truly chicken flavoring and twisties, right?
Right.
Like this is 2 ideas that never should wed, in my opinion.
What if
and that could be controversial.
What if we tap into, we'll combine a couple things here, right? For some reason, men have it's always dudes who are doing like setup tour videos, right, of their like their home office or their home computer desk and stuff.
Sure.
They're all obsessed with productivity. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. They're all trying to optimize their home setup for the the optimum level of productivity. Right. Which, by the way, you jump into what women are doing with their like at-home setups. It's just cool and cozy, and it's the fucking best. And like the majority of people,
James, it's simple, cozy, and comfortable.
They
get a lot of work done.
I love it, dude. They'll have like little cushions and coasters and blankets and warm lighting and fun little colors and stuff and pink things. It's the best, bitch. By the way, and you want to buy anything related to like computers that's pink? There's this like weird markup on all of it. Yeah, just so they can like tax women more and me because I want it. I want all of it. But anyway,
my brother bought like a full suite of the Razer did like a limited run of like matte pink gear, so you could get like the headphone.
Hell yeah!
You could get the microphone. You could get the keyboard, like the whole shooting range. And he bought them all. And then he later on bought the same gear, but just like the default like gamer gray or whatever. And he was like, I think he was like, it was literally, I don't know what, I think he sold the gray gear to somebody else. I think he was buying it for someone else. Like he didn't need 2 sets, but I think he literally was like, oh yeah, it was maybe a third of the price or something.
Yeah.
Like for the same products, just a different color because they weren't pink.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
I know. They can get away with it because I'll pay it. I'll pay it to have it.
Mm.
I want it.
Well,
And
it's because it matches the advisory pod cave, which, as we all know, is sort of colored this nice salmon offshoot. This proprietary copyright Black Swan Society salmon color that we use right here.
which is Pantone, we don't know because
we haven't. Well,
Adobe, that whole Pantone thing, Pantone pulled out of Adobe. All of your files turned black, and now they're going to charge people a separate subscription just through Pantone to be able to access their library of colors. It's insane. Colors cost you money now. So
what the fuck are you talking?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to probably talk about the feature question, I guess, because
I just want to say I wanted to merge really quickly. We want to merge two products. So we're going to merge productivity with corporate greed. We have a device that the better and harder and longer that you're working, the more sexual stuff it does to you.
James,
I don't want to like
James. Dog. It does a big horn to you.
Exactly.
You get a big horn.
And we, dog, think about the enterprise level agreements that we can have on this thing.
Oh my god.
They're all going to want it.
What are these?
Increased productivity, and all the people who are working are going to want to work harder and better because they're...
I've seen the Wolf of Wall Street. They love to do a big horn. Corporate people love to do a big horn. They do a big sex.
Randy all the time. Yeah.
They're so ready. They're always doing cocaine and doing the sex to different people.
Exactly.
You know?
So take out the illegal drugs.
You know.
Keep the sex, up the productivity. Win-win.
I've definitely done both, by the way. I've had sex and I'm cool and I do the drug.
Oh, you've done... Okay.
Just in case you were wondering. Yeah, I'm cool. I've had sex.
Damn. That sounds believable. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good, if that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Well, we won't get bogged down in the specifics of that because that sort of sounds like a whole sort of
man. I don't bloody kiss and tell, if you know what I mean.
Right. Well, you were a little bit there, but that's fine.
What's up?
That's fine. No, it's cool.
You prompted me. You kind of badgered me for it.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't. I
don't want to brag, but it's like I've definitely.
Yeah, I don't want to be associated with that at all. I don't want to be associated with that at all. Feature question time.
Yeah. I just want to be really clear. I have had sex.
Yes.
And I have done the fun drug.
Yes.
And I will accept no further questions on it.
Right. And your productivity levels through the roof.
Mate, combined together, I'm getting all kinds of stuff done.
And guys, I didn't want to say this, but DMAC plows.
I think you broke.
Yeah.
I definitely put air in the wrong hole just then. I laughed I hit my desk so hard that I chipped a piece of my mouse casing away so that you can see the LED.
Dog.
You can see the LED inside the mouse now because I chipped a piece of the casing away with how hard I hit it just then.
Well, Christmas is coming up. Maybe you can buy a pink one.
Yeah, maybe. Except I have a mortgage, so I could probably buy a third-hand pink one. This question, this one I have sincerely titled, honestly, this time I'm worried they're in a cult. You correctly added a comma that I happened to omit grammatically in the title when I wrote it down in the documentation. Feels like you're calling me out. Kind of rude, not cool, but that's fine. It's whatever. It's neither here nor there. Honestly,
all
this
I'm going to say is the small victory that I could take. When you're the words guy, you're the words guy. You know what I mean?
You felt like a big man? You felt like a big man?
Yeah, I felt pretty powerful. I know now what it's like to sort of kill.
In what sense?
Just a similar sort of rush of power, I imagine.
I always think the cleanup is the hardest part though, because it's like you always think it's going to be easier than it is, and like when you throw down the cling wrap and the kind of you get the plastic wrap down, it does help, but there's always something where you have to go and get like the odorless bleach, And then once you do that, you need the star sand because bleach does, contrary to popular belief, it does leave evidence. So you need to do the bleach and then the star sand, which basically gets rid of the evidence of the bleach. And it's just like there's always something. There's like hair. There's like something. So, what happened? What happened? Where did James? James is gone. James
Hello,
is gone.
Police. Yeah. Nah, he's doing it again. I can't believe you guys haven't looked into it at this point. Oh, what do you mean? Like, I'm not doing your job for you. Like, looking at any unsolved cases in Brisbane. All right. He is talking about murder right now. Right now, he has a fucking twinkle in his eye. Okay. Sure, you'll look into it. All right. Yeah, well, I'll call you again when it happens. Okay. Yeah, I'll just unmute now.
Oh, you're back. What's up, man?
I got a call.
Yeah. It's classic. It's classic.
Work. You know how it is.
Mate, I'm always rising and grinding. You know how it be.
You never shut up about it. You never shut up about it. Ever since you got that weird tech thing that you slapped on your desk that you won't tell me what it does, you've really been, man, you have been rising and grinding. So
it's mostly designed for the grinding. This feature question, we should just get into before we do more. You started it. You said weird device, all right? James, I'm a frequent long-term contractor at a very small company. There are 2 owners, 2 full-time employees, and a handful of freelancers and interns at any one time. The owners are wonderful people whom I enjoy spending time with, but they have a practice that some coworkers and I feel conflicted about. You don't read these in advance. What kind of practice do you think they feel conflicted about? Small business, there's maybe, reading this, maybe like on a busy period, 12 employees, on a quiet period, 8 employees. What's the practice they might feel kind of iffy about?
What is it? Is this sort of like a retail outlet? Is this like it's like a white collar type?
I read it as like white collar professional services, probably like consulting services, like maybe like outsourced marketing, something like that.
I don't know. Maybe they're doing some like weird, hey, well, if someone sent us an email, then I guess they've just opted in to be part of our CRM now, and they'll keep getting all of our emails. Or it's like
oh no, sorry, I asked about the question, not my previous boss. The question asker, not my previous.
Really? Put them on blast. Or maybe they call them family. You guys are our family. You guys are our family here, and you're all gonna have to stay back and work 30 minutes for free, because that's what family does.
So not that. Consider the title of the question. Honestly, this time I'm worried they're in a cult. So they expect us to eat lunch with them in the office every day and pay and shop for it.
No. I'm not gonna look. Fuck. Fuck.
Listen.
All the way off. Fuck off, cunt.
First, I'm not
my refuge. My refuge in my day is that I get 30 minutes or an hour, depending upon where you work, to myself. Right? I don't have to fucking talk to anyone. I can do my own thing. And I just get to fucking chill. That's me time. I'm off the clock at that point. That's my time. I'm not eating lunch with you. I fucking worked at a place, right? It's one of the first places I ever worked at. And back when I was doing like graphic design stuff. And they would first, like, white collar, company. The team that I worked in, they went and got lunch every day at 11 a.m. Either 10:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. It was normally 10:30 a.m. And I'm like,
a fucking startup thing.
I ate breakfast like 2 hours ago. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't need lunch at 10:30 a.m. Right?
Tell us you don't have kids without saying it. Every person I know who has kids is like, I mean, lunch at 10:30 because I'm awake at 5:30. But yes, it is that. Sorry, continue.
And then
fucking, that's mental.
The place that we worked at had a fucking, like, I don't know what you would call it, like a kitchen, you would go in and there was, either like pizza or like salads or like lasagna or whatever, it was like prepared cooked food, and you could like choose what you
What?
wanted, and it was free, right? Now, they
Okay.
would always want to go they'd want to go out into Brisbane City and buy lunch. Are you out of your mind?
What do you mean?
Dog, they loved is it jackpot noodle or
Yeah, jackpot dining.
yeah. Oh
Jackpot
my
dining. Yeah.
god. That's all they ever wanted to fucking eat all the time. And like the one time I got it,
consumer grade bullshit.
I got
It's
this
not
it was like filled with bones, and it was like a duck's neck. It was just whack. It was the wildest shit ever. And that probably makes me sound really fucking white or whatever, but I don't want to eat a neck of something. Okay, sorry, sue me. And there's
the free pizza.
There's a free kitchen. Food is cooked by professional people. This place was fucked off its tree, by the way. Literally had televisions in the walls behind glass, like next to each other. Flat screen TV inside the wall.
Yeah.
15 centimeter gap, flat screen TV, 15 centimeter gap, flat screen TV, everywhere.
Uh-huh.
It was insane.
With what on them?
It was always like Fox Sports and stuff, because at the time they were the title sponsor of like the Broncos and stuff.
Yeah,
dude, it was wild. But I'm like, I've been here for 2 hours. I don't want lunch. Yet. Okay, I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to stretch it out to the furthest point of my day, so that I have lunch and I come back and only have like a handful of hours left, and then I get to go home.
I get to go. Yeah.
So these people wanted to eat lunch at 10:30 a.m. and go somewhere else and pay for it when the place had free food.
That's absolutely wild. There's this thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently. I've been working on this essay that I was talking to you about the other week, because I was trying to work out a thumbnail for it. Because I watched Severance, and then I watched a Star Trek episode, and I had a convergence, as you sometimes have with like media crit brain. And this idea of the lunch hour and the break room, right? Like the break room at work is not a place for you to get away from work. It's a function of labor. Like it is a space controlled by the people that pay you to do labor.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's in service of work. It's not the opposition of work. Break rooms exist because of work, not for leisure or respite. And there's something really curious to me about this idea that I think a lot of people have, where this company culture of like, oh, it's the fam, or it's the this, and we do things together as work colleagues. I think that's fine. Like you can have work friends, but when the company culture suggests things like, hey, we do lunches together, or perhaps not that. I don't mind if you voluntarily, if you're having lunch at work and you go into the break room and you want to hang out with your colleagues, but that's essentially you. You're I guess you are sublimating the break into service of the company, because doing that is beneficial financially for the company, right?
Yes.
Like you having better relationships with your colleagues makes you more efficient, makes them happier in their jobs, makes them more likely to make more money. And so the break room necessarily is a function of the structure of the thing that you are doing, which is engaging in labor. It is another means by which they separate you from the means of production. And there's something to me that's really fucking fascinating about startup culture in general, where they will set these sort of cultural norms because they, not consciously, like no one sits down and says, hey, you want to start a startup? Here's the rule book for how to manipulate your employees to get the best outcome for the least amount of salary. But shit like this develops over time because the people running the business are not affected by it. They're always the ones that can be exempt. Oh, I'm the CEO. I have to go take that meeting. I have to go take my car to shop or whatever.
Yep.
And so it creates a pressure on the rest of the workforce to take the hour or 45 minutes or 30 minutes, depending on where you work. Some people it's less, depending on the country you're in. Sometimes you have to work through lunch, right? Like there's all different kind of reasons this happens. They take that thing which is afforded to you as a product of bargaining at a large scale, usually through some kind of unionization during like the early to late 90s, depending on the country you're in. They take that and they somehow, again, sublimate it into making them more money and making you more complicit in the exercise of them trying to generate revenue from your human existence. Like,
Mhm.
it's funny to think about the fact that you sitting and having a chat with your colleague about their weekend in the break room is effectively beneficial to the bottom line of the business.
Yes.
And I just don't think
It's
that
one
we
of the
often
core
think
it's one of the
of.
core pillars of like um the highest performing teams at like the biggest companies like all around the world. It's like one of their
Yeah,
like fundamental like core pillars of what they do is they work really hard to get teams to be like a little family and we care about each other
yeah.
and things like that because those teams work better together. And if they work better together, they're more efficient and they make more money for the company.
I think the difference is if you're not then subsequently being rewarded in the currency with which they understand, which is finance or authority and control, right? So if you're not rewarded by either getting more money when you're in a team that performs that way and behaves that way, or getting more autonomy, then you're basically like sacrificing your social currency in order to make them more money for no material gain, other than you like the people you work with, which is totally valid, which I completely understand. But it's still part of that system. I think that's just a dynamic we all walk past too often and don't at least acknowledge what's happening there. There's no solution to it,
I wonder if
to be
places
candid.
I
But
wonder if places do I've never heard of it, but you only ever hear of like individual performance based bonuses. Are there places that give teams bonuses?
yeah, I've worked at places that do that. I think it really varies on. I think it's very specific to the nature of the work.
Yeah.
Um, like particularly in like an engineering space, I'm not getting a performance bonus or, I'm not, they're not measuring my performance on how many lines of code I write,
Yeah.
because I could write 100 lines of easy code and then one line of the most complex code in our product.
Mhm.
And they're not comparable. And so it becomes instead about how you work and how you get to your goals, not what goals you get to. And so it's
Okay.
like, did you do it? Were you collegiate? Were you working and thinking about the bigger picture? Were you making are you thinking about the interoperability of the product? Are you working with the product team properly? Like, it then becomes about not just the code you write and the deliverables, but the method by which you achieve it.
Yeah.
The thing that I think is interesting, or that we've talked about recently, I guess, in the kinds of roles that I do, is you can do anything if you sit in front of a keyboard for long enough. But did you do it with the right attitude, with the right resources? Did you make sure that that entire process was seamless and great for the key stakeholders? Um, and that's the divide, I think, between people that excel in certain parts of, I guess, the intersection of customer and engineering and people that don't. And there's just I mean, it's less lateral than that. It's not like, did the team reach their goals? Okay, they get a bonus. But like, all of our goals are interlinked, right?
Mm.
Like, if one of my team's goals is to document all of the stuff we've built for this quarter so that we can take a week off if we want and no one has to ask us how something works.
Yep.
That's beneficial to our team, but it's also how our team is measured on their success, because it's a measurement of how redundant we've made ourselves to the larger structure, in a sense.
Right.
Redundant, not being negative, just being descriptive. Like,
Mhm.
I should be able to go and do another task. You don't have to ask me how this thing works because I've written it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Sorry, you just sparked a thing I've been looking into recently. I think it's yeah, it's interesting. And this question for me, I mean, it gets weirder, which is what we want on this show, because boy howdy does it get weird. But the core idea is so fascinating to me, and this is why I love the workplace advice questions, James. This is why you'll notice I gravitate to them, because they just involve the weirdest dynamics. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was listening. I was listening to an episode we did a few weeks ago, or whenever it was, about the people in the office environment where the person was commenting on their clothing.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I listened back to that because we've been posting it all on podcast catches of your choice, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, we're at all the places now. Finally on the YouTube as well. All of those places, the Advisory Podcast.
Try
Or just search
and
for
not
Black Swan
find us on
Society.
one.
We're on like everything, even some that I was pretty sure James made up the names of. I There was three in there where I was like, I think he's fucking with me. But that one is so funny to me because it's such a like it's humans are not designed to necessarily function in these environments, and watching them
No.
try and goof their way through it, it's an absolute treat.
Especially when you take into account the fact that people are being somewhat performative in these spaces. They also have roles that they that they're in, or have to embody, or there's certain things that you have to talk to people a certain way in different roles and things like that. So there's all of these really strange, abnormal pressures and different things happening all at once that really make even just people trying to be normal fuck it up so graciously, and they just and it's wild.
Delicious. They the the ease with which you can do a thing and it land normally, and then overshoot so hard you become a psychopath.
Yeah, and that line is so thin. It's so so razor thin.
Corporate life is just so funny to me. Okay, so they send a tin around every week to collect. I forgot this is in here. They send a tin around every week to collect our lunch payments, which supposedly are based on how much we are paid. Bracket, my expected weekly contribution is $40. $40 for lunches for the week. So that's for the whole week. Okay. What?
No. No.
We take turns.
It's cool, guys. It's cool, guys. I actually do leftovers. Yep. Sort of cook dinner the night before, and I do leftovers the next day. So that's cool, fam. Skip me with the fucking lunch tin. I'm not giving you $40 fucking dollars so that we can cook and eat lunch together. Where the fuck are we?
It sounds like a commune or a cult, right? Like
sounds like a commune.
We take turns shopping for the lunch and assembling it. The owner thinks this is
assembling it. Assembling it. What are you cunts making Subway? What the
no, like I don't think this is what you're thinking, which is like you put in $40 and you'll get takeout every day. I think it's like someone goes to a grocer, purchases produce, and comes into the work kitchen and cooks it.
That's a commune. You're at a Yes, you're in a cult.
You're in a cult.
Yes, you're in a cult. You're in a cult.
You're in a cult. The owner thinks this is wonderful family time and feels it's an added benefit for those who work there.
Kill me.
Oh my god. On your first day, they say, quote, "This is what we do for lunch, and after that you're locked in."
I'm sorry. Is that part of orientation? Is that part of the onboarding process?
Yeah, so the fire escapes, as you'll see, are actually past the two main doors on either side of the engineering bay. The kitchen's in there. One thing you should know is that every day for lunch, one person will collect produce, cook and prepare a meal for each of us, and we'll sit down in the kitchen and eat it together. And also, I think your laptop is actually just on the dock over there if you want to grab that.
And really quick, if you sort of just look over to your left, that's where the bathrooms are. And I branded you. Now you're part of the cult. You cook lunch on Tuesdays.
No way out. No way. That's why I branded you with a T.
Terrifying. I'd be like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like, oh yeah, and sorry, and because you've just heard me say that to you, that's legally.
Oh no, sorry, I said the docs.
Yeah, that's legally binding. You can't.
Did you mishear that?
Blood in, blood out. So you can't sort of leave now, and so you can bring your own peripherals. Or we have. So we like to use sort of Logitech stuff around here, so we can get that to you as well. And Mark will brand you at 2:30.
Sorry, I didn't have any questions about the machine, but you said something weird about lunch. I understand the laptop. I'm all across this. I can see it in the dock over there.
Yep.
And the little cradle there. It's charging right now. As we, with the nice noise canceling headset. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You said something odd about lunch, which is. You have a professional chef that comes in and cooks every day. Is that what you said? You said something about someone preparing meals.
Certainly.
Got a little.
They
mentioned that as a perk on the ad.
Yeah,
on the
definitely.
Job
it's
ad.
sort of more like I'd say it's like a semi-professional chef, like a series of semi-professional
Oh, they're like
sort of
trainees. You guys
uh
partner with like
well, we're
a
all
chef
we're all
school, or
training. We're all training in a certain way. Sort of we like to
well,
uh
I'm training. It's my first week. Obviously, I'm training for a bit.
yeah, yeah, we'll teach you the ropes once you get to that point. But I will mention this on Wednesdays after work
Yeah.
at 5:30. Do you have to stay for this? We watch an episode of Jamie Oliver's 30-minute meals, and then
Sorry.
that's sort of just to help us. I guess sort of learn a bit more, sort of jazz up our lunchtime sessions or whatever, so that we can, so again, that's sort of it's part of the training, just so people can learn a bit more and
Wednesday
sort of
nights, I actually
contribute
my
more
son actually plays
to the
hockey on
team.
Wednesday nights, and since the divorce, he's kind of become, he sort of really relies on me to kind of be
Yeah,
there and provide that
definitely.
moral
That's
support. So I don't know if I can make that work.
not really my problem. So
Wait, but why? Hang on, I'm
it is
confused. Why would I
mandatory.
come in on the? Oh, I
Yeah.
assumed that the Wednesday night thing was, I guess, for the trainee chefs that you have on
No,
retainer.
it's for everyone. It's for everyone sort of come no training chefs here. Everyone stays after work
So
and at
who's
5:30 we all
cooking?
watch an episode of Jamie Oliver's 30-minute meals. Pretty quick. It's two. He does two in it. So some
I've heard that
in the
I've heard
15-minute
that they
meals
actually
sometimes we
take
watch those.
I've
So
I've heard they take longer than 30 minutes because he does all the prep beforehand. Just saying.
yeah, he we had
Bit
mixed
deceptive.
it is deceptive. We have mixed opinions about him. Wait till you see
Mm.
fucking 15-minute meals where he does two in one episode. It's
Oh,
like,
unbelievable.
yeah, okay, Jamie. I tried making that fucking ragu the other day, and it took longer than
Yeah.
15 minutes. So,
Yeah.
but
Took me
you'll
like
learn
3
that.
hours.
Yeah, you'll learn that, and
Right.
you're cooking on
How do you
Thursday,
how do you
so you'll
guys
figure that
how do
out.
you how do you guys feel about his classist views on chicken nuggets? Where he thinks that poor people are dirty because they
Right.
eat chicken nuggets.
Well,
You guys have a
we don't.
strong view on
Yeah,
that,
we really
or
don't like to talk politics too much around here because we are a family unit. So we're really more about we have a very
right?
simple saying around here, building things
Got
up,
it.
not tearing them down. So we like to come
Yeah,
together
fish.
and
Right.
sort of try to remain positive and build things up.
Uh-huh.
And we don't really like to talk too much about negative things. And we don't once we've sort of said something and
Uh-huh.
established something, we don't really like to discuss it anymore. So vis-a-vis the sort of
Right.
having to cook meals and stuff like that. So
Okay. I
yeah,
guess my general concern is that in my experience, and
yeah.
I'm happy to be
This
proven
isn't going to be
wrong.
negative, is it?
Uh,
Because I did just say nothing negative. So
oh, well, it's about negativity, but it's not a negative thing to say.
maybe you shouldn't say
It
it
just
then. So
I just think sometimes there can be some positive benefits from being, a little bit critical about sort
okay,
of the way
critical.
you view
Oh,
things.
don't like the sound of that.
No, in a positive, in sort
Oh,
of a fun
positive. I do like
positive.
positivity. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's sort of a fun
Okay.
positive. Like, now I have noticed that when I walked in, the doors did lock behind me.
Certainly
And I've
did.
noticed my swipe card doesn't unlock them.
Hmm.
If I need to sort of, jump out for a minute during the day, if I need, say, like a coffee or something like that,
Yep.
is there sort of, am I missing a pass I need to
No,
sort of
that's
swipe more?
sort of what you can do there is you can there's no real need to leave at any point. So you can just sort of shoot me a message on Slack. We use Slack. So if you just want
Oh, I
to
know Slack. I use that at my last workplace. Yeah.
perfect. So you can just sort of Slack me and anything you need, I'll deal with it. You do not need to leave. So and you can't. So anything you need, coffee, tea, anything like that, just let me know how you take it, and we'll get. I think actually Jeff is the chef today, so he will prepare that for you, and
I thought Jeff worked in accounts.
he absolutely does. He cooks a mean book. He cooks a mean lasagna. So
Are you admitting he does fraud for your
I'm
cat? What?
not saying that.
Cooks
Never
a
say
mean
that.
book. What did
That
you say?
that sounds negative, David. And I did say, and I
you said it. You
did
said
say
it,
that we
You
don't
said
really
it,
like.
though.
I did say it,
You
but
said
I
it,
also
Jeff,
said that
so
one.
You said about Jeff. So
Did I also said that one of our rules is that once I've said something, I don't really like to explain it. So said it, and now we don't discuss it. Okay? Don't worry what Jeff is up to. Unless, of course, you need
James,
a tea. So,
James, I'd like to leave the bit because it's becoming a bit too real. And I suddenly felt kind of like a little bit mentally trapped where I was like, oh, I don't know if I can.
I don't know if I can leave.
Can't outmaneuver. I was like,
I don't know how I'm getting out of this one. Yeah.
Yeah. All of my usual moves didn't work. You'd be a very good cult leader, man. And I mean that as a compliment.
Thank you. We meet on Tuesdays.
I don't know why I don't know why they feel the need to explain this. The problem, this is the most obvious sentence in the world. The problem is that sometimes we don't all want to eat lunch together and feel pressure or worry about appearances if we decline. I've only known one
and consequences. Oh, I fear the consequences if I decline.
And I fear that week my pay won't turn up and I might find a horse head in my bed.
Yeah.
I've only known one freelancer who did not participate and said things like, and people said things like, does he not like us? Is he antisocial? So you pretty much have to participate or you're sort of an outsider.
Easy, done.
Yeah, I'm an outsider everywhere I work. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do it sometimes, even more than once a week, just not always. Always. What's troubling is the expectation that everyone participate every day. Is there any kind of way to inform the owners that something they clearly love isn't working for everybody? They would be hurt if they knew that some employees just want to get away for an hour. Yo, if they are hurt that employees for an hour a day want to use the thing which the government has mandated is a legal requirement for you to do with your workforce because human beings are people and not just machines to make you money. If that makes them hurt, they probably shouldn't run a business.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Safe to say.
I'm just pitching ideas in the wind, but like maybe you should all fucking quit. Possibly a little bit, a lot. And they can eat lunch by themselves. And wouldn't that be helpful? What about them apples?
There's so many things in here where they're like, oh, the problem is that like not everyone wants to eat lunch with them every day. That's not the problem. The problem is that this exists at all. And this business is being run by psychopaths. Now,
or cult leaders.
I understand that you guys
throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Like this isn't just there are so many problems here. It's not just that we're forced to eat lunch together. It's that I have to give you a certain amount of dollars based on how much I earn. That goes into a pot. Then someone goes and does a grocery shop for us. Doug, this isn't a commune. I'm not commune living right here. I am exchanging my time and my skills, providing value for the business, and in exchange for that, you are giving me money. That's what's happening. We are engaged
in a meal once a week. And a meal once a week. So, and a meal once a week. And 40 of your hard-earned dollars.
I would suspiciously have an appointment every day at 12, and I can't make it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've got my appointment. You could maybe try and like really arc that up to be like, and if I don't go to it and they don't give me the shot that I need. The last time I didn't get my shot, it got bad, and it was bad for the people around me.
My secret is
two of them never recovered.
I'm always angry.
Did you just Hulk? Yeah, you just Hulk quote me right there?
Yeah. You know, like the Hulk from my favorite film, Marvel films. The Hulk, you know, the Hulk from those extremely bland Marvel films that everyone loves.
I'd quit.
You have to quit. This is
unacceptable.
It's not. Here's the thing. This is fucked up, but the thing is, this isn't the kind of thing that's going to get better with time. It's going to get worse with time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, and guys, I didn't mention that we all wear orange robes now. I didn't mention that. Oh, well, it is in your contract, so you are all going to have to put that on. And if you do it, because it's like a health and safety thing, so sorry about this, guys, but
yeah,
everyone does have to shave their head. Yeah. That's sort of going to be the next thing that we do. And the next thing we're actually doing an expansion of the kitchen, which, and because you guys use that as well, we are
Constantly.
going to have to dock all of your salaries 50% for just at least the next 2 months, just to sort of afford that renovation. And actually, Mark had a really good idea the other day. We're thinking about starting to, because it's like, it's expensive, obviously. Cost of living's going up. Groceries, am I right, everyone? So
Huh.
we're thinking,
Bloody $4 for a banana, mate. You
yeah,
bloody
we're
joking?
thinking that we might sort of start growing a lot of the stuff. So we'll start, small with like tomatoes and lettuces and stuff like that for the sandwiches that we all love to make. And then we'll just sort of
Mm-hmm.
go off from there. I have obviously brought with me several chickens in this cage, couple different chickens.
Oh,
Um,
that's
so that
quite a
we
few
can,
chickens.
yeah, because I figure like we start with lunch, but it's like I don't know about you guys,
They're
but
quite
I
loud.
don't buy into that whole intermittent fasting thing. I love a bloody breakfast. So I think now everyone's gonna have to show up at 7:30. We're gonna start doing a work breakfast every day and really give these bloody chickens a run for their money. You know what I mean? So hope you like eggs, everyone. So
You've you've made me physically uncomfortable. I I feel so uncomfortable right now.
oh,
Um,
guys, it's getting pretty late. Oh, you know what we should do? We should all just bloody sleep here for the night. How about that? I've downloaded that new movie with Jason Momoa in it, Sleepyland or whatever the fuck. And I think we all just get some popcorn, maybe huddle up together,
James, I
and we
wanna
all
go
watch
home.
it on
James,
on
I wanna
my
go.
on my laptop, or got the projector. It's an overhead projector, but still, we'll try and make it work. And that'll be fun. And then we can just get started bright and early tomorrow morning with these bloody chickens. So that'll be fun, won't it, guys? This sounds like fun. This sounds like fun. Lock the doors. This sounds like fun. You're all going to
I
have
wanna
fun.
die. I'm so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I can't sit right because the thing I'm sweating now. I've started sweating.
See? You
I
have
just
to quit because it's going to get to a place it's bad. It's already bad. It's going to get worse.
I've been at the start of this kind of thing and I left early enough. But I've worked with a business, and I'm going to try and talk about this very carefully. I work with a business who, whenever you got on a Zoom call with them, everybody on the Zoom call in their homes during lockdown,
Yeah.
even after lockdown, would be wearing a item of clothing that the brand was famous for, and they would have, like, in the same way that we have these green screens that are like the kind of, I don't know what you call that, but like the A-frame, kind of like the
It like
I don't know
pulls
what you
up.
call that, but yeah,
Yeah.
you pull them up kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They would have like a pull-up thing of the brand in their like living room.
No.
And they would wear on that item of apparel and have the pull-up thing on all of their Zoom calls every single time.
No.
And they all did it. And one time we were on a call with 8 of them, and it literally felt like we'd walked into a cult.
No. No.
And so that was what
You're
was
not
happening
allowed
to
to.
me when you were sort of.
I'm not allowed to be reminded of work stuff mixed with my home stuff. Okay. I have one of these on my desk. I have a couple, right? Notebooks. And this one, this is the only one that I had with me today. And I needed to jot some stuff down. This has regular James stuff in it, drawings, ideas, notes, blah, blah, blah. And now it also, as of today, has notes related to some work. It's tainted now. This book disgusts me because it's been
ruined.
tainted. If I had a giant fucking banner reminder in my home, and I looked and I could like look over and see it, even if it's down in the box, just knowing that it's there, I'd have to burn the house down. I'd have to burn the house down.
Yeah. This episode got kind of dark. You have to quit. We can't help you. You're beyond. You need to quit and change your name
Yeah.
because they will find you. I
Leave.
know that I sometimes, pretty frequently, I suggest leaving the country and faking your death and getting a new identity. I feel like I suggest that maybe every third episode. This is probably the occasion where it's the most relevant, I feel. You
Yeah.
know?
I like and be
Yeah.
as discreet about it as possible because you don't want to be
Oh,
like, imagine you're like walking to the door to like leave. You're done. I'm peacing out of this place forever. And the boss just sort of cut, hey, where you going, champ? Puts his hand on your shoulder. Hey, yeah, it's about to be bloody lunchtime, mate. Jeff's been slaving away. He's cooking up Jamie Oliver's new pasta dish for 15-minute meals. Hey, before
I was
where you
just
heading off to?
well, I was using the rest of my leave. I was just gonna take today off. I actually got a.
No,
It's funny. I'm
no,
going to my
mate.
daughter's dance recital at school.
But Jeff's already cooked all
So
that food. Now you seem hungry. You're talking nonsense, and it's
No,
because you've got an empty
actually,
tum. That's what it is.
no, I'm gonna.
So I grab you
I'm
on your
actually
shoulders
getting
and I
lunch with.
steer you around, and I'm basically walking you back into the business now.
I have to go. My daughter's recital. She's if I
Get
miss
someone to
this, she's
film
gonna be
it. Get
heartbroken.
someone to film it, mate. Jeff's gonna be bloody heartbroken if you
I
don't try his new pasta. Oh, there's some things I wanted to talk to you about as well. So I've been thinking with the new sort of expansion that we're doing, and
this
then
is
you're
my
already
last day. You know that, right? And then it's too late. And then
yeah.
you can never leave.
That's why you've got to do it really
Um,
discreetly. Don't let anyone see you. If someone catches you, start running. Start running.
could you do a disguise? Like maybe like you go to the bathroom and then you change into like a delivery man outfit, then try and
Oh,
leave the premises. Is that a
that's
good way
good.
to get it? Because you know people
If a
they're always
delivery
coming and
man comes
coming and going.
in, you just go, "Oh, just signing for that? Yeah, awesome. No worries. Help me. Help.
Help me.
Take me
Help
with
me.
you."
Help.
I bloody bodged the signature on that one. You've probably got some physical documentation at your van
I'll just come out to the
that
truck.
will come out
Yeah.
together now, and
We
I'll
can do
sign.
it
I'll sign that.
outside. We
And
could
he's like,
do that,
no,
yeah.
it's cool. I can just reset it. No need to do
No,
that.
he's like, no, actually, I was gonna stay for lunch. Come on, let's grab a bite.
Hey, who's this, D-Mac?
Hey.
New friend of yours? Are you hungry, mate? You got a grumbly little tum, don't you? Jeff's been cooking up some pasta. Steers him
He's done
around.
some pasta.
Got both of you. Got both of you. You trap. You got to be quick. He'll get you. He'll get everyone
gotta
you
get
come in
out.
contact with.
Oh my god. Yeah, we can't help you. You're beyond help. If you're in an environment like this, find another job. If you can't afford to just quit, find another job. If you can't afford to just quit, do it.
I'm terrified of this person. I feel like we need to leave because they might.
We need to go. We need to go because you have done such a convincing impression of this person that I sat for. I don't know how else to explain this. Then I don't know if it came across visually because I was trying not to move too much, but I couldn't find a comfortable way to sit. So I just sort of was hugging myself for like a good 3 minutes because it kept going and it kept feeling like an environment that I had been in.
Yeah.
Like it felt like a place where I have worked, and the PTSD, like I think my therapist sometimes says is like, you know, your body will react in ways that you can't anticipate to things that don't clock for you mentally. And my body was like doing the like, okay, well, we need to withdraw thing. Like I was going into like shell mode when you were doing that. Like you literally triggered me with your bit. Like that's fucked up. Yeah.
Well, David's gonna David's therapist is getting their money this week. Well, because he's gonna have to unpack. He's gonna have to unpack that with them.
Yeah. While I do that in my own personal time, you can follow us on TikTok at BLK Swan Society, where you can find some fresh hot clips of the show to share with your friends. We posted a very funny one recently. I don't know if it'll be recent when this comes out. Who knows? It's recent when we're live now. Isn't time funny? Where we took a little slice of a conversation we had about my Pokemon fan fiction that might become something larger. Stay tuned. You can follow us on the gram, as the kids call it, at BLK Swan Society. On Twitter, BLK Swan Society as well. Or alternatively, if you're thinking to yourself, you sit there and you're thinking, I'd love to hear this program live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. AEST. You can head to twitch.tv/Black Swan Society. And now for your viewing and your eye hole pleasure, you can watch our VODs, which I believe stands for
Video on demand.
Video odds. YouTube.com slash at Black Swan Society, or just slash Black Swan Society. They'll both take you there. Or you can head to Spotify and search for the advisory to watch video episodes. Otherwise, our audio podcast is on all of the podcast catches that you care about, the real ones, the iTunes ones, the made up ones. You can find us there if you just search for the advisory. And as you find us there, you might be thinking to yourself, oh man, I'd love to tell these boys how much I like the show. You can do that by leaving a rating or a review on the catcher of your choice. A comment, a review, a 5-star review helps other people find our show, and it helps us keep growing as a show, which we would love to do because we think it's a fun show and we want to help find people that are interested in the same things we are. If you want to email us directly, you can email us at blackswansociety.mail@gmail.com. Send us your advice, your questions, your feedback, your concerns, your funny stories, your opinions on chicken twisties, I guess. But be fair warned, you know, there's a delete button on that inbox, so be careful what you send. We appreciate the heck out of you watching or listening, whether you catch this live, whether you catch it on audio or video. This is one of our favorite things to do, and we are in the process of expanding some of the stuff we do at Black Swan. We're really excited to kick off a few new ideas, and we will keep doing this as long as we keep loving doing it, which is probably going to be forever. So stick around till the end of time when the sun burns out and the planet ends, and James correctly predicts we descend into a weird apocalypse where technology's gone and we end up doing this as a live show on a stage somewhere in the middle of Australia with sort of some Mad Max style characters watching. So look forward to the kind of advisory 2.0 in the apocalypse. Otherwise, we will say goodbye, good evening, good night, and good morning, depending on where you are for this episode of the advisory. Thank you so much for your time, attention, and your goofs and gaffs. We'll catch you same bat channel, same bat time next week, 7 p.m. Fuck that up. Last thing I was going to say, 6 p.m. AEST on Thursday nights, twitch.tv/Black Swan Society, or of course, all of these socials where you can catch the VODs and the podcast feed. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
David, you're not getting out of here, are you, mate? Come on back. Come on back, mate. No. Let's have me and you will have a bloody brewski together. I've actually got a whole bunch of things that I want to talk to you about. So what we're going to be doing is... I'm going.